What if those heroic, larger-than-life figures we see in movies of management have almost nothing to do with what makes a great leader? Hello, I am Juan Navarro. This is Advanced Quality Programs, and I invite you to explore the quality philosophies to apply them to our everyday. Many people have this picture in their heads about this hero leader, the one lone genius who swoops in to save the day. This charismatic visionary who changes the world with one big idea. We see them on the screen, we read about them, and pretty soon we all start to believe this dangerous myth. But this myth is damaging because it makes real leadership feel completely out of reach for most of us. It whispers that leadership is for a special few, for special people born with something the rest of us just don't have. This way of thinking creates dependency where teams are just waiting for the one person to solve all their problems. It kills growth, restrains innovation, and disempowers everyone. When a leader feels they have to fix everything alone, nobody on the team gets a chance to step up and grow. It is a recipe for burnout, for stress, and a culture where no one feels safe enough to take a risk. That's a lie that holds incredible people back, making them feel like they aren't cut out to lead simply because they are not wearing a cape. The truth is that leadership isn't about being a hero, it is about being consistent. There's one astonishing power, the power of improving 1% every day. The secret of the world's most effective leaders isn't in one massive one-time action. It's in something much smaller, something anyone can do. The power of tiny daily improvements. They master the 1% improvement routine. Think of it like a compound interest. We usually hear with the money how a sum that we consistently save will consistently interest grow lately into a fortune. Leadership habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. If you get just 1% better at something every day, you'll end up 37 times better by the end of 1 year. But it works both ways. In 1% decline each day, we shrink our skills down to almost nothing. What starts as a small, nearly unnoticeable choice snowballs into something massive. So, how do you actually do this? How do you become a 1% daily better leader? It starts with small intentional actions that, when repeated, create huge shifts in your leadership and your team performance. First, start by running experiments in a safe space. Treat your leadership role as a laboratory. Great leaders don't wait for a huge crisis to take action. They consistently and constantly practice implementing improvements in low-risk situations. Think about a team meeting that isn't perfect. That's a perfect space and safe space to test a new way of facilitating a discussion or giving feedback. If the action has a good result, then keep it. If not, learn from it and move to the next idea. To learn, you have to feel safe. You wouldn't learn to swim by jumping into the ocean during a storm, right? So you start in the safe swimming pool. Leadership is exactly the same. Before you try something new, ask yourself, is this the space where it is okay if it doesn't work? And then I can learn from it. Even more importantly, ask, am I creating this same safety space for my team to try new things? When you follow this model, trying the small things, learning and adjusting, you give everyone permission to grow. Remember, development isn't about being perfect, it's about practice. Then, start measuring what truly matters. You have probably heard the saying, what gets measured, get managed. But 1% leaders add a little warning to that. So, be really careful on what you measure. It's easy to track vanity metrics. Things like the number of emails or calls you sent, tasks that you checked off, the hours you clocked in. But those numbers often drive the wrong behavior, making people to focus on just being busy instead of making an impact. A 1% everyday better leader measures what actually leads to better results. Things like team engagement, psychological safety, and real progress towards goals. For example, instead of counting how many messages fly back and forth in the team chat, you could actually measure how quickly important questions get resolved. Instead of just celebrating a project done, you could actually track the team learnings along the way. Every day, ask yourself this simple question: are my metrics giving and driving the right behaviors? And are they creating progress or just an illusion? Then conduct a daily friction audit. Great leaders focus on removing friction. What's friction? It's anything that, no matter how tiny, makes harder for your team to get better. It makes difficult for your team to get the best work. It could be confusing software, a poorly run meeting, or a bureaucratic process with too many sign-offs. These little annoyances are energy vampires that kill momentum. Ask questions like, if you had the chance to get rid of frustrating tasks, what would it be? This habit of finding and removing little roadblocks is a form of inclusion. When you smooth the path for your team, you create an environment where everyone can move faster and focus on work that really matters. Your job is just to point the way that is clear and easier for everybody to best perform. Model grow through small acts of courage. Leadership isn't just about guiding others, it's about growing yourself first. And guess what? Your team is always watching. When you show the courage to get feedback, to admit that you don't have all the answers, or that you are willing to learn a new skill, in the open, you set a powerful example. This isn't about some grand heroic display of vulnerability. It's about the small daily acts of courage that shows everyone the way to grow. It could be as simple as saying, you know what? I was wrong about that. Thanks for catching it. In a team meeting, for example, when you celebrate your own small steps for progress and not perfection, you build a culture where learning is a value tool more than the flawlessness. Now, the final habit is really a mindset. There is no one-size-fits-all map to becoming a great leader. The ideas we talk about aren't rigid formulas. They are tools you need to adapt your unique style. Your teams need and your company need a culture of leadership where isn't some one destination who finally arrive at. It is a constant process of learning and adapting. It's about becoming a more of who you are through the simple disciplines of daily improvement. So that myth of the great leader is just that, a myth. It makes for good movies, but it's a terrible way to manage teams. Real lasting impact doesn't come from a single moment of brilliance. It comes from the relentless accumulation of small positive actions. And that's it for today. Don't forget to hit like and share your 1% commitment in the comments below. Let's build a community of leaders who are focused on what really matters, the small daily improvements that lead to massive results. Thanks for all your ratings on Amazon and Goodreads about the books Life Quality Projects and Principles of Quality. Don't forget that the Quality Mindset will be released soon. And until the next week, hit the bell to get notified on the next episode.